Hey, it's Rachel from All About Planners. So I've done a few reviews of the My Goals planners to date. I'll include links below this video if you wanted to have a look. This one is the horizontal layout. I like it, not as much as the Goal Digger one, but it's still pretty good. So if you're watching this video after 2019, do not fret because they do put out a new one each year. So it is a hardbound. It's slightly different in that it's blue and it does have something on the cover, so it's not completely plain. Could be a little bit more, I guess, pretty, but it is gender neutral. Has the sewn binding with some built-in ribbon bookmarks because, as with all hardbound, no tabs. So if we go into the planner, it is the same kind of style as all of the other planners with like a black page that has quotes on it, and then the same fonts, all that kind of stuff before we go into the actual planner. So at the start, obviously because it's the My Goals, they do stay true to the name, and there is a lot of goal planning pages in their planners, a lot more than you would find in most others, especially all these ones at the front here. I'm not going to read everything out, I'll just let you guys have a look. So you have the reflection ones at the start, a rating, and then you've got future planning, which obviously then you know what the heck you should be doing this year rather than just randomly putting stuff down. Like a vision board page, do some mind mapping. And we have the goals section where they give you a couple of tips. They're kind of generic though. And then they give you this, which I quite like, an example of how to use the planner, of what to put where. So it's not just here's some lines on a page, you go figure it out. They do structure it for you. And then keep going. You've got the short-term goals pages. So you do get space to plan multiple goals, not just like one. So you've got a few of these. Just zoom in a bit. It's up the top, obviously, what are you doing and why. Your top 3 things to do, and then your reward and outcome. And they do put the little thing down the bottom here because there's no tabs. So as you can see, there's quite a few. 6 short-term goal pages, as well as long-term goals, where you get more room because obviously bigger goals need more space. You've got the brainstorm page. Then it splits out into separate sections, your who, what, where, when, why, and then the milestones and more space to put the things to do. You do get a couple of these as well. To be honest, I probably wouldn't use all of these in 1 year. You could just about use these over 2 years with how many there are. So with 6 short-term and then 4 long-term goals. You've probably got more than you'll need, which is always better to have more than less. So don't feel obligated to fill out all of them. 2 built-in ribbon bookmarks. They are the same colour, so you might get a bit confused about which place you're up to. Probably better if they were different colours, but anywho, minor con. Again, with the actual planning section, so if I just show you, see how many goal pages there were? Tons more than you normally get in a planner, and this is all like your weekly typical pages. So you got week and month. They have changed the monthly layout quite a few times over the years. I do still prefer the first layout they came out with. However, this one is still quite functional. So it is an Aussie planner and it has the Aussie holidays, yippee, and it does also include, though, the US ones, UK, basically all around the world, but it does include the Aussie ones. So if you're a fellow Aussie, finally a planner that has them on there. Now it has that list, but it doesn't put them on the monthly calendar, which I much prefer because I don't really need to know about like Groundhog Day and Martin Luther King and all those other things that are applicable to the US, and I always tend to white them out. So it's great, clean slate, anywhere in the world. You could use this planner and not have to worry about any of that because it's blank. So it starts the month on the Monday, and you get a bigger space for Saturday and Sunday, which is one of the reasons why I like it, because I have more time to do my blog and shop stuff on a weekend because I'm working during the week. And then down the bottom here, you have the goals section, things to do, and then a lined notes page, notes section. So it's not just the generic boxes on a page, you do actually get proper like goal planning space. And then we go into the weekly, which is horizontal but with a twist. So you've got half lined and then half unlined. Starts on a Monday, which is consistent with the monthly calendar, which is great because not many planners do that for whatever weird reason I will never understand. At the top of each weekly spread, you've got, again, top 3 and then a habit tracker, and it also gives you a little space to put how many you got. So it just says number, so you could put this as your goal number or you could put this as your actual total. Sometimes I do both, goal and actual, just depends. So you've got the habit section and then really roomy space to fill out. It does print those holidays on the weekly, which is kind of annoying. I'd probably wipe them out because like I don't live in the UK, so doesn't really apply to me. There's a couple of quotes on the weekly spread as well. Lots of quotes throughout these planners on those like divider pages, weekly, goal planning, all throughout. So if we keep going, if I go to this one, for example, we've got the quarterly review, again another quote, and then some questions. I won't bother reading them out, I'll just let you have a look. Lined writing space, and then you go into the weeks again. It does not have tabs, but it does have the week numbers down the bottom, which is kind of like a little bookmark anyway. And then if I keep going to the back, there is a yearly review, which again, more questions, more lined writing space. I'd probably want a little bit more space to write than that, because it's just one page. I'm like, after a whole year, I think I want more than just a page to write. Another thing with the no tabs, you can see where the pages go a bit darker. Don't know if it's showing well on the video, but see how this one here, it's a bit darker because that's kind of like your divider page. It's your quote. Look for the quotes as your divider, and we'll go into your month and all the rest of them. Okay, so at the back, in addition to all of that, you then get budget pages as well. Really like this format, really functional. It's like list style. You've still got a decent amount of space to write, but it's not spread out over 12 pages. It's still compact. And then you get a couple of lined and unlined pages at the back. So overall, there is a lot packed into this planner. It's still like thin, as you can see. It's probably only about, I'd say, 1.5 centimeters, maybe 3/4 of an inch thick, and it feels super light. It would not weigh much more than my Kindle. So to pack that many pages in and still be lightweight, I do definitely think that is good value as well if you look at the price of it. So yes, I would recommend. I do still prefer the Goal Digger planner. I'll include that link below, but this one is really good as well.